Gisteren bij het Surinaams Rumhuis werd een speciaal evenement gehouden door het ministerie van Bibis in samenwerking met Suriname Alcoholic Beverages NV. Het betreft de aanbieding van een speciaal geproduceerde rum ter gelegenheid van de 50ste verjaardag van de CARICOM. SAB-directeur Stephen Maayong zei het volgende tijdens zijn toespraak.
It is a very honor for us today to have you here because of the launch of the 10-year-old Borgoe rum on the occasion of the 50th anniversary of the CARICOM. What happened is that CARICOM producers in all the CARICOM states have collaborated to honor the achievement of the CARICOM community during the past 50 years, and they have produced their own selective rum. We are proud that all rum was also selected to be part of this joint initiative. All the producers have produced their rums and presented the rums, and these rums represent their individual heritage and the spirit of each nation. So every country in the CARICOM, Caribbean, says for themselves that their rum is the best rum. And the people from Guyana know El Dorado, and Haiti, Barbancourt. We say we have also the best rum. So I think all the rums are excellent rums, and Minister Ramdin, in his former capacity as Deputy Chairman, was very much involved with rums from all over the Caribbean and the world. Why are you laughing, Mrs. Christopher?
He was whispering to me that the Jamaican rum.
Oh, yeah.
Honorary Council of Jamaica.
Jamaica rum, Appleton. All right. Yeah, Jamaica also makes remarkable good rums. So the presentation, the highlight of this project will be the presentation to the head of states in next month, the 14th of July. I know it's the 14th of July, but in Grenada, all these projects will be there, and we will be showcased to the bigger audience. So I think Mr. Ramdin will also be present there. I think that rum, for all of you know, that rum is perhaps the most well-known Caribbean export product next to tourism. Everybody knows rum. Everybody who comes to the Caribbean wants to enjoy rum. Everybody who leaves the Caribbean brings a bottle of rum with them. Tourism, you come to the Caribbean, with rum you bring out of the Caribbean. So basically, rum is an ambassador, it's a global ambassador. And this is one of the achievements that we want to achieve also, is that rum is an ambassador, and rum should be Suriname's ambassador to put Suriname in a national, international forum to be very much recognized. And I think the potential is there. A team of us was recently in April in St. Lucia, and we brought some samples of the Borgoe 10-year-old. And we didn't give it the name, but people tasted it, and they say, whoa, this is by far the best rum. Sorry about this, Mr. Guyana, but I don't know if Guyana was present there also with the rum. But rum is also, I think, in the Caribbean, and Suriname is maybe not that far in that progress, but rum has been accounting for foreign exchange of about 600 million annually, and employment of around 10,000 people are employed in the rum industry alone in the Caribbean, which is significant figures. Rum is also the largest agri-based exporter for the Caribbean, with a fast-growing international presence for premium and super premium rums. So when we started with Borgoe rum, we made an elevation to go to the aged rums. Borgoe came in that super premium category. This occasion honors also the collaboration between the industry and the regional governments to open export markets in North America and Europe. We also are exporting to Europe. We're also exporting to North America. Big challenges for us, but it is a very, very good future if we are able to fulfill on commitments to export to these big markets. Especially the US is a big challenge for us. Nevertheless, in the stage, the Caribbean, all the producers together are still very small compared to the big players in the region. And one of the examples is that there is also the crop over from the US Virgin Islands, whereby the big producers are getting incentives from the US government. For each case exported, they get back $1 per bottle. So their marketing budget, to compare that, is almost double of half of the CARICOM states. The budget of Diageo, for instance, is bigger than the GDP of half of the Caribbean states. Then we talk about they are larger than small producers. And that is a concern because we cannot compete with brands coming from the US, from Diageo, very, very cheap. And, but that we have to try to distinguish ourselves by being different, premium, unique in our own aspects. The growth of the premium market has also seen an entry of a lot of supposedly suspect brands, and that is also the case internationally, but also in Suriname. I just spoke, the pleasure to speak about this with Minister Kulib Singh, is that we also face these challenges. There are products in the market here that are very, very cheap on the shelves. For, you talk about a bottle of 1 liter rum for 150 Suriname dollars, which is not even the cost of the excise you have to pay for bringing this product on the shelves. So if you calculate this and you bring the product from Europe or from the States or wherever, you are not talking about only the excise would be 180 Suriname dollars. But still, these products are in the market. We are collaborating with the fiscal task force of the Ministry of Finance, and we were able to allocate at least 4 illegal laboratories where people are making spirits in their own backyard. It's a very concern because it happened in the past in Kenya, in India, where people died, get blind because of a high methanol content in the product. So I think the awareness, we should be very, make the public, the consumer aware of the dangers of buying goods that are not even represented by language that is readable. It's just a language you can understand. You don't know where the product is produced. So basically, that is the threat that we are dealing with. We got concerned. We are very concerned about this because in Suriname, people come to us and say, how come you are cheap, you're more expensive than these rums or these spirits? They say, well, I cannot compete with a rum that is sold for 150 on the shelves. It's impossible because the excise alone is 180. So that is one of the major challenges that we are facing to keep this industry going. We are on the forefront now of a big investment in a new fermentation and distillation plant. We signed the contract in April, so the plant has to be operational by the end of next year. And that will give us one step closer to make Suriname again a resource-based industry. The next stage will be something more challenging, that will be starting again with the sugar cultivation in Suriname. As you all, maybe some of you don't know that, but Suriname had more than 200 sugar plantations in the past, and Marienburg Rum, one of the founders of this company, was the last remaining sugar estate. And I think it is a very, not a good thing that we don't have sugar in Suriname. Everything has to be imported. So I think that hopefully we will be able to achieve this also, to start with a small-scale sugar cultivation to feed this new plant. The plant will be state-of-the-art. It is built in Italy, and hopefully we will be able to bring our cost price down so that we can compete internationally with the big brands. And there's a demand. The demand for Suriname rum is growing.
Minister Albert Ramdien van Bibis zei het volgende tijdens zijn toespraak.
No, thank you very much for this ceremony as part of CARICOM's 50 years celebration. I think by now, and I recognize everybody here present as to be high level, so CARICOM's presence or CARICOM's 50 years is really important for this region, simply because the majority, if not all, of CARICOM countries are considered small states. So we need to work together. And CARICOM was a mechanism, is a mechanism in different stages. It had also, like rum, it had to mature. And it matured well. We are not there as yet, but 50 years is something which is important in terms of regional integration and international cooperation. I think CARICOM is one of the oldest integration systems in the world after the European Union. So you can understand the importance of it. Now, in terms of rum and this celebration, and I'm very happy that Suriname is part of it. It makes us proud that the Suriname Alcohol Company has taken this up as a serious commitment, but also be able to present now a rum which I understand passed the test already. I'm not sure if there will be in Grenada a rum tasting among the heads of government. There will be. So we'll make sure that the bottle is prominently presented. But I'm sure it will do well. I like the design very much because it does two things. Normally rum bottles are not so creative. This one is very creative because it represents another feature of Suriname, which is the fact that we are 93% forested. And almost 93% of the bottle is forested as well. So we're going to sell that feature. Of course, behind rum, there is a story. And every country has its own story. And you have great rums. But you're right. Every rum, it depends on who drinks it and how many you had already to determine the quality. And so every CARICOM, I'm learning more and more about it. I was somewhere in the Bahamas recently, and they have their own rum as well. Peru has its own rum as well. And there is nobody from Peru here, but as the media is here, I won't qualify. But it's just to indicate that rum has its own history, which is embedded in society. And something I will say here, and I know the Caribbean people will not like that, but Mr. Lape and Suriname will feel the sentiments. Cricket is often seen as to be the Caribbean spirit, isn't it? We don't play cricket. Haiti doesn't play cricket. For us, the Caribbeanness is rum. It's not cricket. We don't play rum, we drink rum. Okay? So let's not forget that. Rum has been uniting this region even before CARICOM existed. So we are celebrating 50 years of CARICOM, but this whole process of the sugar industry has gone way back. So, and I'm not going to speak about the sugar industry and its consequences, but it was, as indicated, a major part of our economy many, many years ago. No one of you were there. This is one way to identify the region. Rum and Coke is a known feature in many ways. Indeed, when I was at the OAS for 10 years, we organized a major event called the Celebration of Spirits of the Americas. And the spirit had two meanings. One was the spirit of unity in the Americas, and the other one was the real spirit. That is this one. But it started with Caribbean rum, with 11 countries bringing their Caribbean rum to the OAS, and that grew out to a rum festival, and in the end, a celebratory gathering of more than 700 people by invitation. So we must be able to do something more with rum. And I know there are challenges, but that's something you can discuss with the Minister of Economic Affairs and Finance. We will make certain that it is used at our receptions, so that will help your sales as well. But in all seriousness, there are challenges in terms of the industry. And I know Diageo well. The Caribbean rum producers need to come together and do something about collectively addressing some of those challenges in terms of marketing, in terms of presence globally, but also in terms of the negotiations with large alcohol distributors like Diageo.